Some things once seen cannot be unseen. Jason never knocked. He never had to. It had always been just him and his mother. Angela, since his father passed away when he was 10, their bond was strong. Maybe too strong. Angela took care of everything for him. She cooked his favorite meals, washed his clothes, and even when he was sick, bathed him like she did when he was a child. But Jason was no longer a child. He was 22, a grown man with broad shoulders and a deep voice. Yet some habits never change. That Sunday morning he rushed home from the gym, his body aching from the workout. Sweat dripped down his back, and all he could think about was a cold shower. Without thinking, he walked straight to the bathroom and pushed the door open. Then he froze, steam-filled. The small space swirling around his mother's bare body, water ran down her smooth brown skin, glistening under the bathroom light. Her back was to him at first. But when she turned, their eyes met Jason. Her scream broke the silence in a second. Grabbed a towel, pressing it against herself. Her face was filled with shock. But then, as she looked at him, something else replaced it. Something deeper. Something uncomfortable. Jason's throat went dry. His heart pounded in his chest. He should have turned away immediately. He wanted to. But for a second, just 1 second, he didn't. And in that second, everything changed. Angela's expression shifted. She saw the hesitation in his eyes, and something dark passed between them. Shame, discomfort, something neither of them could explain. Get out, her voice snapped like a whip, pulling Jason back to reality. He stumbled out of the bathroom, slamming the door behind him. His breath was heavy. His mind raced. Why didn't I look away? For days he couldn't meet his mother's eyes. Guilt sat heavy in his chest. He wished he could erase the image from his mind. But worse than his own thoughts was the way Angela had changed. She avoided him. Now she no longer called out for him. Like she used to, she locked doors even when she was just changing. Her laughter, once soft and familiar, had become forced. Then came the conversation one evening. She sat across from him at the dining table. Jason's stomach tightened. He knew what was coming. "Jason, we need to talk about boundaries," she said, her voice calm but firm. He nodded, ashamed. "I know I raised you alone." She continued, choosing her words carefully. "Maybe I made you too comfortable. But you're a man now. Some things are private." Some things. She hesitated, her eyes searching his plan. Dangerous thoughts. If we're not careful. Jason swallowed his hands. Felt cold. "I didn't mean to." "I know," she said, cutting him off gently. "But let this be, Allison. Carelessness can create moments we regret forever." Her words stayed with him. He didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. There was nothing to say. From that day, Jason learned to knock, to respect space, to understand that no matter how close to people are, some lines should never be crossed, because once innocence is lost, it can never be the same again. Carelessness can create moments we regret forever. Her words stayed with him. He didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. There was nothing to say. From that day, Jason learned to knock, to respect space, to understand that no matter how close to people are, some lines should never be crossed. Because once innocence is lost, it can never be the same again. Over time, things slowly returned to normal. Jason became more conscious of boundaries, not just with his mother, but in all his relationships. Angela, too, adjusted. She allowed herself to set limits, to encourage independence in her son. It wasn't easy, but healing began when they acknowledged what happened and learned from it. For Parent S, this story is a reminder that as children grow, so must the nature of your relationship with them. Love them, nurture them, but also teach them personal space and healthy boundaries. Raising a child alone doesn't mean making them your emotional partner. There must be a clear distinction between parent and child. No matter how close you are for young adults, respect matters. There are things you cannot unsee and moments you cannot take back. A simple habit knocking, respecting privacy, can prevent situations that cause lasting emotional scars. Something should never be blurred, no matter how familiar or comfortable you are. What do you think about this story? Do you believe parents sometimes blur boundaries with their children without realizing it? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this story insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more eye-opening stories like this. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next video.